Hello, welcome to USTS, the Ultimate Sports and Training Show. I'll be your host for today's show, Bob Lemire. Excuse me. All right. I had my iPhone on. I'm sorry about that. Today I had a guest, and she was all excited until the very last minute. Yesterday, called me up, said she didn't sleep three nights, worrying about the show. So I told her, don't worry about it. We'll do it another time. So I'm going to do a solo show, and what I'd like to do is talk about children in sports, not just children, but sports and health in sports, and how you can keep healthy and different things so that you can be the ultimate in your sport and you can have more energy than you have ever had if you follow just a couple of little things that I might say today. And people are saying, well, why is he an authority? And I'm not an authority. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. But I have trained thousands of people over my life in Taekwondo. It's about 50 years, over 50 years I've been in Taekwondo, taught for many, say 47, 48, 49 years. I lose track. And a lot of people have gone through the schools or YMCAs, high schools that I would teach it. I just, private lessons. And I've had a TV show, Taekwondo TV show for it's going on 35 years next year. 35 years, it's a long time. And I do a couple of shows a month. At one point when I started, I was doing one show a week, 1990, 1991. Then I come over to DATV and I had to cut it down a little, just time-wise. But anyway, not an authority, but I've done extensive studies on energy. I always had to do a paper for my grandmaster for every dan, every degree that I wanted to be, from first, second, third, and fourth. Every paper I've ever done is on energy, health and energy. And, to get energy in your body, you have to be healthy. If you're not healthy, you're going to see the energy just wane, and you have to keep your body healthy. And that's where the energy comes in. And there's ways of improving it, ways to make your body sharp. And it all boils down to mindset and what you're used to every day, your everyday schedule, trying to make it yourself cognizant of what you need to do to stay healthier and healthier. Because that's what it's all about. We're living. We're trying to stay alive. And while you're trying to stay alive, you want to be as healthy as you can, have as much energy as you can, and I'm just going over a couple of things today that I really think is important. So I'm going to start off with the first one, and that's hydration. Hydration, and people say, drink water. I know he's going to say drink water, and you're right. You're 100% right. Drink water, but old school, all right? And I want you to, anything I say on this show, Google it. And you're going to get 100 different opinions. But Google doctors or Google good information. And you're going to see, wow, he was talking about something. And I'm not going to get deep into a lot of this stuff because it'd be too much on one subject. I want to do a bunch of subjects today. But hydration we're going to start with, because without water, you're done quick, all right? Years ago when we were kids, I lived on Coca-Cola. All right, the water in Lowell was terrible. I don't know how it is today. I don't live in Lowell, but the fluorides and whatever they had in there, and they didn't have bottled water. That's how old I am. And what happens is you don't drink water. You drink Coca-Cola. Everybody was drinking Coke and Pepsi, whatever. All right, and I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not knocking any product, but that was what we would drink. And now we drink coffee too. Coffee and Coke. I don't know if I had water till I was, I swear, maybe in my 20s or once I started Taekwondo. And you had to have water because you'd be dehydrated very quickly training with Grandmaster Muay Lee. And but a lot of times back in the old school, and it's old school thinking, you don't drink water. You'll drink water when you're done. If you're thirsty, good, toughen yourself up. And great football coaches, and that's the way we thought back in the day. Boy, were we hurting each other, all right? Were they hurting their students because the train of thought wasn't there, all right? As we have today, we have the iPhone. all right, for us to look up anything we want. In 5 seconds, you got it in your hand. Read it. Hydration and more. And this is recently for me. We're talking within the last year or so. I drink as much water as I could. Okay. I still drink a lot of coffee. Don't drink any Coke. Don't drink any sodas and stuff. I try to stay away from that type of stuff. A couple of beers maybe at night. I cut all that out, and I'm trying to stay with really good fruit juices and water. Now, when I say water, I buy those right now. I buy those liquid hydration packets, which have the electrolytes. Right now, if you're drinking water and you're not having any electrolytes in the water, you're flushing the electrolytes and vitamins and minerals out of your body. So you're drinking the water, but you're hurting yourself a little. Right? People are going, "Oh, dude, this guy's out of his mind." Well, do some homework. You need some electrolytes, and I take those packets, and when I say I feel 100% better with these packets, through my years of Taekwondo, all right, and I'm going to be 70 years old next year. Through my years of Taekwondo, my knees always hurt. And the older I got, and I had a meniscus thing going, a little removed. And I always have knees, and you get used to it. The knee was hurting, the back would hurt, and I say, it's over the years of, which is true in a way. And I started taking these hydration, 1 packet a day, and I'd put it in 2 bottles. And then I drink another bottle of water and add just a pinch of salt. So if you're drinking without these hydration packets, a little pinch of salt. I do the Himalayan, right? I try to stay with the Himalayan, but there are good brands of salt, and then there's high sodium or whatever that you might want to do your homework on. But regular salt will do it too, and I'm talking a pinch. And they're saying that by doing that, the water, which lubricates your body and your whole body, is 95%. I don't know how much water is in your body, but it's up there. It connects to the molecules. The salt in the water, or the packets that I get, which has a lot of different things. It has vitamins in it, and they're so good. Liquid hydration, you can get them in any store. 1 pack a day. My just within, I'd say, the last few months of really hydrating my body better than I have been with these electrolytes, the pain in my knee and my back are gone. And I can't explain it. I'm saying it can't be a coincidence. So I do my research, and I find that water is like you lubricating machinery, all right, like a chain on your bike. Without the water, the chain on your rusty chain on your bike just doesn't work right, and it grinds. And your car, you can't. You have to have oil. The water, electrolytes go into your muscles. They go into your joints, and believe me, you will feel 100% better in your joints. You will feel 100% better in your energy, all right? And it's just, drink water. Yes, drink gallons of water. If you don't have electrolytes in that water, you're flushing them out. You're flushing the sodium out, all right? Do your homework on your own body. Find out what your sodium levels should be. We don't want you to go too much in the sodium. But the food we eat is just packed with sodium anyway, which is good in a way, and sometimes people's sodium levels are too high. You don't want that. There's a whole different world on that. But you do not want to flush your electrolytes out of your body by constantly drinking too much water. And there are drugs that do that too. If you're on certain drugs, they lower the sodium level. Happened to my mother just within the last 2 months, and she had major problems because her sodium levels were so low. All right, and all they did was pump up that sodium, and she's doing 100% better. All right, not lethargic and not tired and not sore. Everything's better. So think about that when I say hydration. I like, if you don't want to just drink water, I love some of these fruit juices that you read the ingredients. I'm not going to do a commercial for saying fruit juices or anything, or any commercial for anybody, but there are some good ones out there, and these fruit juices have vitamins in them. Oh my God, they're good for you. All right, so get rid of the Coke. Try to really get rid of the beer or minimize your beer. I've completely taken beer out of my life, and believe me, I grew up with beer. Even though I've worked out I have a high metabolism, never gained weight because I've trained so much. But it was in society back in the day, 60s and 70s, and boy, we started young, and it's really not good for you. It's bad for your whole body. All right, any alcohol, moderation. And when I say moderation, moderation just increases as you go along. You're out partying and stuff, have one or two and call it a night. You'd just be so happy. Your body, your attitude, even your relationships, everything it gets better. And that's just hydration, all right? Because beer will, if you're only drinking beers, and I know people only drink beer, all right? They drink a lot of beer. They're dehydrated. They're constantly I don't know how to explain it because it's a diuretic, and you're constantly going to the bathroom, constantly, and you can't live like that. So think hard, okay? Another thing which is very important is vitamins and diet. I've taken vitamins because I've done a lot of studying. I say I've done much studying. When I would do my papers for my Grandmaster Lee, and I've done probably 6 or 7 of them. And when I say they were extensive, that was before the phone, computers. All right, you'd have to go to the library, or you have to buy a book, or a lot of the stuff is what you were involved with your whole life at the schools and everything, what you've listened to, but you didn't have all this information that's on the phone. So I did a lot of studying on vitamins and diet. And believe me, when I say my diet, I eat some bad stuff too. Bread. When you grew up, certain breads build bones 100 ways or 11 ways, whatever they are, and you believe that. And so white bread and all that, the ingredients in this stuff are just not good for your body. Okay, so you really want to stay away from certain things and do your homework. Look at your diet daily and say, all right, let me do my homework on everything that I'm eating. And you do that, you're going to say, I got to cut some of this out. All right, moderation is fine. But a lot of times, especially Americans, we indulge. And moderation, it's tough because we can get anything we want. And so we overindulge. You do that in your diet, and you're going to gain a lot of weight, you're going to be obese, you're going to have problems. All right. Vitamins, well, if you eat a good balanced diet, think about what you eat and write it down. You're not getting the vitamins you need every day and minerals. You're not getting them. All right. Find a good vitamin, and there's millions of them out there. Whether it's a drink, a gummy, whether it's and there are some that I would stay away from. Right? You have to do your homework. I can't do your homework for you. And take one vitamin a day or one way of a supplement, whether it's a drink or whatever, and watch how you feel. Especially the B complexes. I mean, if I stop taking B complexes because I run out and I say, I'll get some, and all of a sudden a couple of weeks ago, I'm getting tired. Why am I getting tired? I'm getting tired because my B's, I don't have that B complex, or those B vitamins in my body. Never mind everything else. And when you take some of your vitamins, I dissolve mine in one of my fruit drinks. I put it in my fruit drinks at night when I go to work or whatever, or the next day. It's dissolved. Some people don't like that. I like it. It works for me. And you can't taste it. Right? It's totally dissolved. So certain vitamins you have to take with water or with fluid. Certain vitamins you have to take with food. Okay, it's just the solubility that that type of vitamins, which is say like A and D or whatever, you have to take with a food. And I might be wrong even with that, but because now I know I'll drink this drink while I'm eating a breakfast. Right, so this drink has dissolved vitamins, and the drink already had vitamins, and so I'm OCD, and my wife she'll attest to that. Obsessive compulsive disorder. All right. Because everything I do is to be extremes, and then I have to work my way down. If it's good for you, if a little's good for you, a lot must be real great for you, and it doesn't work that way. And a lot of people are like that. I know that. So vitamins, you have to watch it, because I've overdone it, and you can really hurt yourself with too many certain vitamins. So again, when I'm going to say this 100 times, do your homework, and it's so easy. Go on the phone, see what you're doing every day, and if you don't take vitamins and you never did, and you feel great, then fine. then maybe don't even bother. But if you say 90% of the people walk around, I'm exhausted. No, I worked here and I worked. Yeah, we all do. And if you want to try to pump up that energy, all right, think of vitamins. Do a little research, all right, and experiment. If all of a sudden you do it for 2 or 3 months, say, I feel worse, then don't do it anymore. But if all of a sudden you think, wow, I'm starting to feel good, then you know that you're taking the right vitamins, all right? And again, homework. Diet. I can't, and especially, as I'm saying this stuff, people say, oh, my child has enough energy. Oh, no. And they don't worry about the diet and what this child is eating. And boy, if that ain't, that's a disaster when they get older, because you get used to what you've done when you were a kid. I always did it. Well, that doesn't mean it's right. Right? So if you have a poor diet, and a real poor diet, whether you gain weight, whether you feel sick, where you feel anemic, where it all comes down to what you're eating to supply your body with the energy. I watch people, all right, they'll clean their car every day. I've seen a person in my neighborhood, he cleaned his car every day. Nice little car, nothing great. Wash it every day, vacuum it every day for hours. He was retired. And I'm like, wow. I mean, what can you be vacuuming? There's nothing in it. But he'd walk around and his body was a mess. It was a total mess. And I'm saying, put that energy into your body. You only have so many years to live. Yeah, you got a nice car. Nobody cares. People look at your car, yeah. Then all of a sudden, you can't even get out of bed. Cannot get out of a chair. But your car looks really good. Do that with your body. That is the number one machine you have to take care of more than anything. All right? You have to, and I ain't say anything, because if you don't take care of your body, you can't take care of your family. You can't go to work because you're going to break down. And you watch how good you feel, and your mind and everything's going to come together. You're going to focus on good habits. And believe me, I'm not preaching. It sounds like I'm preaching. I'm just giving you some advice on what I've studied. I get hooked on things. My whole life I've gotten hooked on things. I love a cigar. Give me a little cigar, nothing much. Give me a beer here and there. Play some sports and play some golf. I got to have a couple of beers. That gets habit forming. It really does. And you ain't doing one thing without the other, because they go together. I couldn't play golf or I couldn't play cards without a beer. Are you kidding me? And not that I would get crazily crazy, but I would have a couple. Loosen up. We call it swing oil in golf. I didn't have my swing oil. And you play different when you have alcohol and you don't, even if it's a small amount of alcohol. And believe me, when I completely stopped my golf game, when I stopped drinking beers or whatever, my golf game it seemed like it got worse. Because I'm thinking now. I'm thinking too much. Where I didn't have to think before because of that. The thought process is getting influenced by your alcohol. And you're loose. And that's what they call swing oil. But as you keep playing and you start learning, breathing techniques, you start playing better. And that would be in any sport or anything. You really can't mix alcohol with heavy sports, especially if you're football, baseball. You can't do that. You're going to get hurt. Right? Golf, you can get away with it a little, but you make some misjudgments once in a while. So moderation on that also. And again, I'm not preaching. If anybody had bad habits, it was me. But I try to fight them, and I do well. Just don't want to you revert back to your old ways because they were fun, right? And you were with the gang, and we can all relate to that. And as I'm saying with the children, if they get used to just eating snacks and not want to eat their meal, they hate vegetables, they hate fruit, but they want that candy. Give it to little Johnny because it keeps them quiet. You're hurting your child. You're hurting them. As your brain grows when you're a child, you better have the right substance to make it grow. And if they're hyperactive, and I know everyone has conditions, and I'm not saying, but if they're sugar high and whatever, slow them down and get them some fruit that they like. Ask them what they like. What do you like? What do you really like? What kind of, either whether it's a meat or whatever kind of, maybe a cheese. And some people don't do that. I know, vegans and stuff, but that's fine. What kind of vegetables? What kind of fruit? All right, and get them the healthiest you can. They will thank you as they get older, because it's all regimented. That regiment of your life starts when you're younger. And children, they're resilient because they're young and they can bounce back. As you get older, you're going to realize, I need more energy. All right? Children have a lot of energy, and if you give them a lot of candy and a lot of sugary treats, they're flying. And I used to drink coffee at the age of 5 and 6, and a lot of coffee, because everyone was drinking it, and I thought I got used to the taste with 5 sugars in each coffee. No wonder I never gained weight. I was a maniac, and I went to a Catholic school. The nuns loved me when I walked in, and I couldn't even concentrate. Right? That's a whole story in itself. But think about it. Sleep. All right, I'm bouncing around here. Sleep. You got to have sleep. You got to have, and I'm a stickler at least 8. All right, some people get away with 6. I know a person who got away with 3 and functioned every night, and he looked great, and he functioned great. So everyone's different, but you want to get that rest, because if you're not getting the REMs, rapid eye movements, and they call that 4-hour intervals. If you're not getting that, and you're getting a lousy night's sleep, it's going to start showing in your everyday activities and in your health. And I mean health, especially as you get older. Their heart disease, Alzheimer's, if you're not getting the right amount of sleep and proper sleep. So there are breathing exercises you can do when you're in bed and you say, I can't sleep. The one I like, and they use different numbers, I like breathing in like 7 or 8, holding it for another 7 or 8 seconds, and then breathing out 10. I swear, if you do that, it's hard to do, because you fall asleep or you just go into a trance after probably about 7 or 8 of them, if you make it to that. And I challenge anybody to do it to 10. And I'm talking to do it right. Breathe in as much as you can. And some people don't, because they'll start coughing. So I'm saying 7 or 8. I used to breathe in as much as I could take in, hold it as long as I could, and then breathe out. And I would do that to certain students, and they would almost, and this is in the lotus position in the school, almost fall asleep on me and tell me, I almost fell asleep. Because the relaxation when you exhale, and if you think, right, and there's a whole different world in that, if you think of, as you're exhaling, let out all negative thoughts and let out all negative energy, and you breathe in only positive energy and positive thoughts, it's your body it'll absorb that type of breathing exercises, and you will sleep well. And if you wake up, say a little while later, do them again. You're going to find yourself, I'm too tired to even do those. But then your mind's racing. This helps you take it. Because, if you're thinking of the numbers, you breathe in 1, 2, 3, you're breathing in. So now you're only thinking of numbers. It's almost impossible, or they say it is impossible, for your brain to think of 2 things at once. If you're thinking of one thing and really concentrating, that's what you're thinking of. All right? So your mind will be off any of your problems as you're thinking of it. And a lot of times when I'm exhaling, I'll start, and it's like almost self-hypnosis, which is a whole nother world. I won't get into that today, but self-hypnosis tapes on YouTube. I used to do the tapes before the phone. They're so good. Self-hypnosis. You put them on, it'll put you right out. And they'll help you. They'll have you doing breathing exercises. But as you're exhaling on that deep breath, say, all right, relax your foot. Relax your foot. You breathe in again, hold it, exhale. All right, relax your calf muscles and your shins. Do it again. All right, relax. Now all you are is thinking of what you're relaxing and numbers. You're not thinking of anything else. You're not thinking of, look at the mistake I made today at school or at work. Look at what he said to me today. Or, no, I don't have enough money to live. There's a million problems we have at night, and it ends up in our head as we're trying to sleep. You need a good night's sleep. I always had a problem sleeping as I get older, because of the problems we have in our life, and it stick in my mind. And as we were talking about coffee, I drank my coffee about 3:00 in the afternoon. Now I'm kind of a little wired by the time I go to bed at night, and I'm thinking. So I used to I figured out a way. What do I got to do? And I did my research. Breathing exercises, self-hypnosis, do your homework. Also, and while I'm on that subject, acupressure, not acupuncture. Acupuncture is with the needles. I don't like needles. Everybody goes, "Oh, you're a tough guy. You don't like needles." No, I don't like needles. I never did. And so I couldn't do acupuncture, and I probably, that's a whole different world. Acupressure is pressure that you're putting on any part of your body. They call them the meridians, and say just your hands, and try it. Do some homework on your phone. Everything you want to know is on your phone. Press your thumb, all right? One of your thumbs. Press your nail, all right? Press it hard with your other finger. 30 seconds to a minute. Then press the side of it, 30 seconds to a minute. Do the other thumb. That right there can help you fall asleep because of, and boy, I'm not going to get technical into it, but what it does is it sends the sympathetic, I think that's what parasympathetic nerves, whatever goes to your brain, and it wraps around your brain and it sends signals to certain parts of your body. I probably mispronounced it anyway. I don't get too deep into a lot of medical terms, and if I do, I forget them very quickly. But it works like acupuncture, and Chinese people have been doing this for 3,000 years, and they've been practicing it on people. And what happens if I do this? And they've perfected that to acupuncture, where it's just a miracle. Now, acupressure is you doing it to yourself, or if someone could do it for you, but you doing it to yourself. Your hand can almost hit every part of your body. There's a part when you close your arms, like you were making a muscle, and there's with a crease in between your forearm and your biceps. As I said, I had major problems with my meniscus, and I had some of it taken out, and the pain is phenomenal. And I've told you that, and now I say I don't have the pain. Because of the fact of the electrolytes and me hydrating. I was dehydrated and didn't even know it. Back on that subject, But anyway, if I did have the pain, and even today, if for some reason I overdo it, and I have a little pain in my leg, I press in that spot right where your bicep and your forearm meet together, right above your elbow. You press in hard. My pain in my knee would go away within 10, 15, 30 seconds, completely go away. Where I couldn't even bend my knee, I'd press this part, all right, and my knee, it was like I never had a problem. Now, it lasts a little while, then you do it again, whether it lasts a half hour, 15 minutes. Sometimes you forget, and you don't even get it back the rest of the day. That's just one of your whole body. I think they call it meridians. I've done studies, but I don't want to say the wrong word, and I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But every part of your body connects to another part of your body. And when I would do that spot for my knee on my arm, it would be my right arm for my left knee. I guess that's the way it works. And if for my right knee, I would have to do my left arm. And that's just the way things work. And it just goes into your brain. That stimulation of that goes to your brain. Nerve endings, they do their number, and they go right down to a certain part of your body. That's what acupuncture does. And people live by it and swear by it. And you got to try it, all right? Again, do your homework. As much as these phones, as AI and the information we're getting are going to probably destroy us, right now you can use them to build your whole life a better life. I think they're going to hurt us down the road, which they may be hurting already, because we're addicted, and there's an addiction right there. I'm addicted. Even for my age, I can't do half the stuff my grandkids can do, and one of them's 7 years old. Hey, how do you do this? He puts it on for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm old school, but I know how to Google anything I want to know within I get in 5 seconds. So it's something to look up, acupressure, if you have a lot of pain, or even for sleep, or even for more energy. Acupressure in certain parts of your body will give you anything you want on what you need. And there's so much on YouTube. Acupressure for a bad knee, YouTube it. You get 100 of them, 1,000 of them. Well, read them and watch how a lot of them say the same thing. So now you know these people kind of know what they're doing, especially if they're doctors, reputable doctors. Okay. I'm trying to hear, and for children, all right, we don't, and I'm the same way. We really don't treat children the way we would treat our own body, all right. Oh, they're fine. Whether they're not eating right, they're not hydrating right, whether they're on their phone way too much, and that's what's happening. I'm watching that. We all see it. These children they've got to get off their phone. It should be one, two the max a day that they stay on that phone. And I know there's peer pressure, and I just watch what's happening, and I'm like, oh my God, this is not right. We didn't have that. We had to go outside and play with sticks and play stickball and basketball and tag and hide and seek. We didn't have the phone. Now they got the phone. I don't want to go out. I'm playing Pac-Man. Well, no, Pac-Man shows my age. They got guns and this. I'm killing everybody. You know what I'm saying? We gotta watch that, because the peer pressure for your children is phenomenal now. We didn't have that type of peer pressure when we were young. If someone didn't like us, might not even seen them for a couple of weeks. We didn't care. Yeah. Now it's all over it's all over the phone. You see what they're writing, their message, TikTok. Well, I don't know what it is. This one don't like you, and this one said, wow, imagine living under that pressure. You don't need it. And that's why really watch what your children are looking into on the phone. It should be child-proof, because there's way too much bad stuff out there for the children. Bad stuff for all of us. And AI is only going to make it worse, because you're going to see false stuff, and people believe whatever they see on that. Oh, did you see what the president did? They never did it. And words have been put in their mouth, and that's just within the last year. We're in trouble. We can use this thing to help humanity or destroy humanity. And I don't want to preach again, but Jesus, and I love my phone. I just think that's the greatest thing in the world for what I would like to do in search and in like Facebook to be with your friends, and it's all that's what gives you energy also. Being in a good mood, trying to think positive. If you're thinking negative, you're sapping your energy, right? And think about it. If you're thinking negative every day and whatever you think is going to come to you. If you send it out into the cosmos and to the universe, it's going to come right back to you, because that's what's in your mind, right? So if you try to think positive, and believe me, I don't always think positive. When something negative's happening, I'm thinking of it, all right? But I try to overthink it with a positive thought, right? How can I resolve whatever the problem is? Okay, and positivity, all right, especially for children, to keep them positive. When they play a sport, I know there's old school out there, all right? When they play a sport, your child plays a sport, and no matter how good he did, he got 2 home runs, right? Scored 2 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns. And he comes back and you say, well, you missed that block in the 3rd period. Or how come you struck out in the 2nd inning? And that happens over and over. When your child is playing a sport or doing anything, give him the most positive feedback you can possibly get. Every time. And people go, that's not right. They'll never learn. They're going to learn to stay away from you if you give them negativity every time. Every once in a while, you can point out, you know what? I saw what you did. Your golf, you were holding the club. And in a gentle voice, and once in a great while, not every time they make a move. You do that, your child is going to resent you, and you're sapping the energy out of their body. All right, and they're going to give you negative energy. You give someone negative energy, you're getting it back. All right, it's just the way the universe works. Think about it. Still be people walking in a room, and they sap the energy out of the room the minute they walk in. They sap it right out of you, and you're like, oh Jesus, here he comes, And the minute they open their mouth, they suck the energy, and that's what they're trying to do. By the way, they're trying to suck the energy right out of your body with their attitude, because maybe they're not happy. And then there's people who walk in a room and you gain energy, or you have a friend. I have a couple of friends, and when I'm with them, I have 100% more energy, and I'm in a good mood because I'm with them. Never a negative thought to each one of us, and we feed on each other. I give him my energy, he gives me his energy or her energy. I try to do that with my wife, with my kids, especially my grandkids now. Give them all the positive energy I can possibly give them. When they play any sport, great game. Even if it was the worst game they ever played, they tried. They tried their hardest. All right? Everyone knows who I'm talking about because you have those people in your life. Everyone does. Well, everyone shouldn't get a trophy. All right. That's a whole nother world. But how about he tried? How about giving a good trophy for the kids who won the award for most home runs for the year? Here's another trophy for you trying, for you giving your 100%, but you don't have the talent. Because that trophy right there, okay, means a lot to a lot of people, right? Or the praise. It doesn't have to be a trophy or a ribbon or a medal or praise, the praise. It means a lot to everyone. Everyone has the same type of feelings. They want to be recognized for what they tried to do. So if someone has a bad game, say, whoa, that was a tough one, you know, and then tell them what you saw, or, you know, wow, I could see that the other guy, boy, he this and that, and, you know, make up something where no matter how much you tried or he tried, we're not all going to win. You can't win every game, and you don't want to win every game. If you won every game, it'd be useless. You wouldn't have the enjoyment of winning. You have to lose to win. You have to. You do. You have to lose to enjoy winning. All right. And sometimes losing, and it was on a TV thing with, I forget, White Men Can't Jump, and his girlfriend says, sometimes when you lose, you win. And sometimes when you win, you lose. And sometimes when you lose, you lose. And he's doing that, and he goes, I don't know what you're talking about, but think about it. Sometimes it used to be the 1967 Red Sox. I like to bring them up. They lost the World Series, but our hearts were with them. Our hearts were with the 1967 Red Sox, and they just come one game to winning the World Series. And I was heartbroken, but I loved. They were rock stars because they had such positive energy. And then when they won the World Series, they called themselves the Idiots, and this team of they called themselves Idiots, and they did that because they were all crazy guys, loved each other, gave positive attitude to each other. Everything was positive. Look at the Patriots for how many years with Brady. They were so positive, and we were so positive as a Patriots nation. We gave them energy; they gave it right back to us. All right, the stands full of people who with positive energy because they had the best team, the best quarterback ever. They gave energy, and look what happened with that energy with the Super Bowl rings. Now there's negative energy, and it shows. It's the Red Sox, but these guys are still teammates, and even though you have the greatest energy in the world, sometimes if you don't have, you just don't have it. You don't have it. Some teams are much stronger and better than other teams, but have fun while you're doing it, and you'll enjoy yourself because positive energy will give you positive energy. Negative energy will give you negative energy. Think about that in your life. And if every time you see a child, what did you do? Oh, must that get old quick? And, you know, I see kids, teenagers roll their eyes. I did it. We all did it. And believe me, I've done that to my child. What are you doing? Instead of thinking, I'll give you another way of talking to my son or my daughter while they're playing a game, right? And my son will tell you, or my daughter will tell you, I was as positive as I could possibly be with them. All right, I made sure that, as I say, I've taught thousands of people, thousands of kids. I knew and I saw what parents are doing because they couldn't do this or that, and I just gave them that positive feeling. Good job, even if it was a terrible job, and they can't do this or they don't want to even try. I told them, nice try, good job. Tomorrow will be better, and then work on it. And some of them snap out of it, all right, because of maybe the positivity. and become unbelievable. All right, and that'll be in every aspect of life, not just sports. Whether it's schoolwork, music, anything that they do, if you don't give them the positivity that they need, and if you want to tell them what they need to do, do it in a nice manner. All right, it's tough, and I know, especially if you have a lot of kids. I had two children, but they were 15 years apart. My son was about 14, 15 when my daughter was born. It was like having two only childs, and that's a little easier than when you have three. Now there's chaos in the family, and it's a lot of work. And I know parents. Things are stressful, and I know. But think about it. And when I'm talking energy again, positivity, being positive, is going to give you energy. It's going to give you energy. And you walk in a room and people look at you and they smile and they're happy that you're in that room. They're giving you energy when they do. When they talk to you, when someone talks to you in a good manner, they're giving you their energy. They're pouring their energy at you. And if it's a bad manner, they're pouring energy again at you, but they're trying to suck out the good energy of you. They're trying to demoralize you or make you feel bad. And by feeling bad, it's sucking the energy out of your body. So be that person when you walk in a room. They're going to smile and give them some positive feedback, positive vibes, And I skipped over probiotics and enzymes for energy. Your gut, all right? And you see me bouncing around. That's just the way I am. I got I'm OCD, ADHD, or ADDH, or whatever they call it. And you say, well, look at the energy, right? As I say, I'm going to be 70. And sometimes I'm flying. And then sometimes I'm exhausted, after a 15, 16, 17-hour day of either working and working out and lifting. I'm exhausted. I'm going, why am I tired? Why am I always tired? I'm always tired because I'm completely out of my mind, but I'm awake. But recently, and I'm trying to get my wife on the show. God bless her soul. She went through some things with her stomach. And she did, if anyone did more research than me on trying to be healthy, it's her. She could be a doctor on what she had, the ailments she had, and keeping herself alive when she could have actually, had more problems than. She's good today. They did operation 30-something years, 33, 34 years ago, major problems with her stomach. And that's just something in her stomach. But to keep herself alive, she did her homework. And when it would come down to digestive problems and enzymes and probiotics, prebiotics, do your homework on that. You really want to be healthy, everything starts from your gut. And when I say start from your gut, that means you're eating food, drinking stuff. It goes in your gut, and if it's not right stuff, or if it's not, if your stomach and your enzymes aren't breaking the food down the way they should be, you're going to get sick. There's no other way around it. Why do I feel tired? Well, I started taking probiotics. I haven't taken enzymes in a while now, but I'm looking again to do them because I feel so good with the probiotics. I take one probiotic a night or whatever they suggest. The next day, I feel so good. I take it at night so that it works in my body all night. It helps digest, and enzymes do the same thing. You take them in pill form, gummy form, even liquid form. Probiotics, prebiotics, enzymes. Do your homework. Don't just take I'm not a doctor. You're going to see that that's the thing. And science is getting so good, all right, to keep us alive if we do the right thing, all right? If we really listen to what they've studied for years and years. And then when someone says, well, probiotics back in the day, you never heard of that when we were kids, probiotics, enzymes, get out of here. Now it helps your digestion because of the lack of probiotics in your body, or whether they deplete or get washed away. You take one of these, and they're safe as it can be. Children can take them. And talk to your doctor first. No, I'm not a doctor. But they have them. They're so safe. You take one of these at night. The next day, you're going to go, oh, my God, do I feel good? And I'm just saying the way your stomach and the way your body runs, all right? People get bound up, or people get their food won't digest right, or they eat a lot of meat, a lot of cheese, and they get bound. And things aren't breaking down in their stomach, and they're not even getting absorbed right in their body. So they'll stay in their stomach. You get this type of probiotic enzymes, prebiotic, it helps your body digest everything. It's when they, you know what an enzyme is, and it'll give you, it'll turn your life around. All right. And everyone I talk to, the same. They tell me, "Wow, I will never not have that in my life. Not that expensive." And when I say not that expensive, you go, whether they're $10, $15, you go to the fast food. And I'm not gonna badmouth any fast food chain. Now, for a little kiddies meal and a couple of burgers, you're paying $35, $40. That's going in your body, destroying your body. The French fries and the burgers or whatever they're putting, the bread, and the soda and the shakes. It's just all good for you, right? And so you'll spend for that. It's all relative of what our life is about. You'll spend for that, and you will not spend for something that's going to make you feel good for a whole month or 2 months for half that price, $15, $10. I don't know. 60 probiotics for $10 or $15. That's 2 months worth maybe that you're going to feel good. And you could probably eat this fast food stuff, and it's going to help break it down. All right? Remember, energy, health starts with your gut. All right? And as old school as I am, because back in the day they'd say, "What's this guy, a nut?" And yeah, I am a little nuts, but when it comes to energy and the study that I've been doing, and I'm still doing it, and as I get older now, and I'm slowing down on a little on my workouts, and because age will catch up to you. I want to do a lot of writing, and I want to write about this energy. I want to write about my life. I want to try that too. If you have problems, or you just try writing things down. You don't have to be, Einstein. You don't have to be Thoreau. You don't have to, I'm talking about smart people who just put your thoughts down. No one has to know that you even have them. They have these diaries. They have locks on them, but no one even has to know you have them. And put your thoughts down, and you're going to be surprised at what that'll do just for your mind. You got to have a good time. I plan on writing a lot, and I do now, but I'm all over the place. I got my wife with that. I got 10 notebooks flying all over the house with different stories in them of things I did when I grew up and things that I like about, energy and training and stuff. And that brings me down to the final thing we're going to do tonight is the passion. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The passion in your life. There's energy in passion. All right. Once you lose passion for anything, or if there's no passion in your life for anything, you might as well say your life is over. All right. You must have something that you're passionate about, whether it's your children, and whether it's reading, and it doesn't have to be a passion that everybody else. It's what you have a passion for that you enjoy doing, but I'm saying if you have a passion for the guitar or music, or the passion for lifting weights, the passion for writing, the passion for bird watching, all right, playing pool, take that passion and work with it. You ever notice when you're with that passion, you're in the middle of that passion, and my passion is I got a lot of stuff. Taekwondo is my major passion. I'd walk into the school, and I'd gain energy just by walking into that school. I'd walk out of school after a workout. I'm exhausted, but the energy I got. Golf. If I'm exhausted and I get on the golf course, I don't think 1 second of being exhausted. All right? I've gone to a golf course, and it's funny. I've gone when I had a flu once, many years ago. I had one of the best games of my life. It slows me down. When you're playing golf, you got to slow down a little and not rush everything. And I had the flu, but I told my buddies I was going to play golf with them. I had one of the best games. And during that 9 holes, we played 9 only, after work, guys, my boys from Wang, my old buddies from Wang, we'd go down, and after as I was playing the game, I had the flu bad, but I told these guys I was going, so I went, and I didn't have the flu while I was playing golf. It went away. I gained energy, and I had one of the best games of my life. What happens is when you have a passion, you don't have time to think. You're not bored. You're not sitting in a chair going, "What do I got to do?" Or you got to watch TV. I can't watch Seinfeld another time or another. Or the news is just. And if you keep watching the news, you want to be brought down and want to lose energy. Have that tube suck it right out of you with the news today, uh, especially with politics. What you want to do is whatever your passion is, and even if you haven't started your passion and you're 85 years old, or you're 95 or 105, I don't want to say, you have a passion for something. Say, I think I'm going to start this. And if you live another 10, 15 years, boy, you probably do something that will help humanity, or it kept you happy and healthy. You have to have a passion. Find your passion and find your niche that you really want. You can have more than one. You can have 50. Right? Problem I find is the more I do, the less you'll put into one. You know what I'm saying? The less. So as I say, is ADD, ADHD. I don't know what they want to call it. I try to stay away from that type of thing. I know I had it my whole life, and you can hear me talking. I go on forever, but I go from one thing to another. When I get up in the morning, I can have a couple of cups of coffee. And if I don't go to work, I run in another room and start playing a little guitar. And then within 10 minutes, I got to do some weightlifting. All right, I do a little weightlifting. Oh wait, I got to do a little writing. I'm bouncing from thing to thing. Oh wait, I got to clean this. I got to. And my wife will attest to that. I don't make this up. And I say to myself, you stay on one thing, will you? If you're going to play the guitar, you're going to do this. Do it for a half hour and leave yourself alone with everything else. But when I'm at home, I can't. But when you go to a school, you go do something, or you're with friends, and you're putting a couple hours into it, then you're really doing it. So that's how you make friends also. And that's how your friends, each one of you, give each other energy. If you're, you could be sparring. I could spar with my best buddies. One of my best buddies, and I hope he's watching the show, Gary Pelletier, just went over, and he's been having some health issues lately, and I hope he's one of the greatest martial artists I ever met in my life. And we would train and spar. We would spar for hours, and I'm saying hours a day, and give each other energy because we enjoyed each other's company so much, and help each other. And if we beat each other up, and we would show each other the bruises that we had on our body from the other guy, and oh yeah, look at this one you gave me. Oh yeah, look at all this. But we gave each other energy, and that's training hard and sparring. So if you're at a golf, or you're playing darts, or you're playing pool with your friends, or you're in a band, or you're going bowling, or in a reading group, it doesn't matter what you do. Try to find some friends who have the same ability with you. Work on goals that you can get together, and then enjoy and watch the energy that you have that day. Then the energy you'll have if you're sitting in front of the TV watching any of the news stations or watching the same show over and over. The TV is the greatest invention in the world, but it'll bring you down too. It'll give you energy and it'll take it away. You have to decide, and it'll do that to your children. The phone will do that to your children, and that TV will do that to your children. It'll suck the living life out of them if that's all they're watching. All right, they need human interaction. All right, for energy. All right, and that's what life is. It's energy. When you die, the energy stops, as far as we know. All right, the energy stops as far as we know for that body or the shell that we're in. Hopefully, and this is my thinking, and hopefully, and whether you're Catholic, Protestant, Hindu, it doesn't matter. All religions to me are meant to be good. All right. Now it's how humans treat that religion, but it's loving each other, respect for each other, and that's where you're going to get some energy. All right. You're going to get tons of energy by respecting and loving each other and helping each other as much as you can. Teach your children that, all right? And if you do that, as I say, energy is when we're alive. When we die, our body doesn't have that energy anymore. But what happens to the soul, whether you want to call it a soul, or whatever is driving this, the spirit is driving your body to talk, to move. What's driving that body? Where does that go? Some people say you jump into a new body, or some people say you go to heaven. Some people say you go to hell. So you better live a good life. And Yeah, we don't know. All right. Some people say, "Well, I do know." We don't know. All right. Because somebody else said it, and they came back from the dead, whatever. That's fine. And maybe they did. I'm not saying that they're wrong. Maybe they did. I don't know. I can't prove that. We really don't know as the human race. But let's pray that there's something on the other side of this, and let's pray that we leave this earth on a positive note with positive energy. All right. And maybe if you have a lot of energy, it will go into something else. All right. That's good. And if you died with negative energy, maybe it stops. Try to think that way. That positive energy, that drive that you've had your whole life, bring it into the next dimension. All right. I sound like the Twilight Zone. Rod Steiger, was it Rod Sterling? I forget what it was. That's showing my age. Young people go, the Twilight Zone? Yeah. And we all remember that. Those were the good old days, you know what I'm saying? I'd get energy the minute it came on TV. That was one of my favorite programs. They're nuts. The Twilight. You never notice if one of you can't wait for your program to come on TV. There's your energy. All of a sudden, you can't wait. Normally, you'd go to bed, but no, I got to watch the rest of Happy Days. Yeah, I used to love Happy Days anyway, but I got to watch the rest of whatever show you're hooked on. And my wife and myself are hooked on a lot of shows. Some of them are a little too violent, whether it's the Vikings and stuff like that. But some of them are fun. Some of them are uplifting and stuff. And you gain energy, especially if you're with your wife or your friend or your girlfriend. You have energy watching this show because you both love it so much. All right. After the show, all of a sudden you're exhausted. You go to bed. So that's passion, and anything that you do. And I'm not saying please don't have passion for the TV. Enjoy a couple of shows. All right. Get out and move. And I'm too tired. And if you're too tired to move, tomorrow you're going to be just as tired, even worse, because now atrophy sets in your bones and your muscles. Muscles, not your bones. Your bones too. What am I talking about? When you don't do anything, everything suffers. If you go for a nice brisk walk, you do a nice workout, you do any kind of workout, any kind of movement, all right, it's going to enhance the energy in your body, all right? You might be sore the next day. You might be tired that day, right? But you will gain strength, right? If you don't, it's a spiraling. You'll spiral down into not moving because you can't. All right, your muscles and your joints won't move because they're not moving. All right, we are the only machine, all right, that works better the more we work it, or the better we work it, and the better we fuel it. Not saying fuel, but the more we work our body, the better it will work. The only machine. You have a car, you use the car, it runs down. And we run down with age. But what I'm saying is your body wants to move. It's a moving machine. So everything we talked about today, it's been a long hour, I'm done. I've had enough. And everything we've talked about is about energy. All right, so the show you're watching it on YouTube. Also, drakettv.org. It's on Spotify and a lot of other podcasts. I think it's still on MV, Merrimack Valley Public Radio, and there's a lot of places you can catch my show here. And as I say, I'm not a doctor, not a psychiatrist. I've been around many people teaching them martial arts. And martial arts just isn't kicking, punching. Martial arts is in your mind. Martial arts is in your body, keeping it as healthy as possible. And that's through diet, sleep, hydration, probiotics, abstaining from drugs and alcohol. Everything intertwines with each other. All right. And you feel it more the older you get. All right. You can be old at the age of 35 or 40. And you can be young at the age of 70, 80, and now you could be young. Jack LaLanne, I'm showing my age, was in his 90s. He wanted to swim the English Channel. He wanted to swim the English Channel with boats tied behind him for his age, and his wife wouldn't let him. She goes, "No, you're too old for that." He wanted to do it. 90-something years old. God bless his soul, and he trained his whole life, and energy that he had, and the diet he had. He was the perfection of what you needed to do. And think about it. At 93, I want to be thinking about that. I hope you enjoyed this show. It's exactly 1 hour, and I have a Taekwondo show also. I'm throwing another dig. A Taekwondo show that's on YouTube. Grandmaster Bob Lemire, Taekwondo, and it's got all my Taekwondo shows and half hour Taekwondo, and you'll enjoy it. And I've people from all walks of life and children come on the show once in a while as my guest. Try to watch that. You'll enjoy it. So until next time, have fun and train hard.